Jason Bourne is back! It's hunting season.
It's hunting season.
Alright gang, I am off to go see the opening night preview showing of Jason Bourne. This movie has been nearly 10 years in the making. It is the fourth film in the remarkable spy espionage action series based on the literary works of Robert Ludlum. I understand that this is technically the fifth film in the Jason Bourne cinematic universe franchise, but let's be completely honest about that 2012 Jeremy Renner Bourne Legacy movie.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, it doesn't count. So yeah, I'm really stoked that not only do we get director Paul Greengrass back for Jason Bourne, who directed the two best films in the Jason Bourne trilogy, not quadrilogy, because as we all know, it doesn't count. Finally get back actor Matt Damon. Now I know what you might be thinking. You might be thinking, oh, Craig's just gonna throw in one of those Team America Matt Damon visual references, but you know what? I don't abide by such chicanery and such a cheap attempt at sensationalistic laughs on my YouTube channel.
Matt Damon. Matt Damon. Matt Damon. Matt Damon.
Yeah, I lied. Every year since 2007, that was the last time a Matt Damon Jason Bourne film came out. Every year since that, I've been pretty depressed. Because I love this character and I love this universe and I want Jason Bourne back in a Jason Bourne film. Not that Bourne Legacy crap, because we all know it doesn't count. So anyway, we got Matt Damon back, we got director Paul Greengrass back. I am so pumped for this film. It's been one of my most anticipated films of the summer. I am gonna speed like a madman, run every yellow, get to that theater and watch this puppy. That's false advertising. It's actually David Webb. Alright gang, I just got out of Jason Bourne starring
Matt Damon.
Before I really get into talking about this fourth film in the Jason Bourne saga, because we all know the Bourne Legacy, it doesn't count. It really is important to note that like the Bourne trilogy, you know, the Bourne Identity, the Bourne Supremacy, and the Bourne Ultimatum, they really fundamentally altered the zeitgeist of sort of the action film thriller genre. And you know, for example, Casino Royale, the reboot of the Bond franchise, came out. A lot of people were pointing towards that as the Bournification of the Bond franchise, and I think they meant that as a sincere compliment. So the fact that the Bourne films could go on to inspire an aesthetic change in other iconic spy thriller franchises like James Bond, I think that is a testament to how impactful that series really was and still is to this day. And I just recently watched the three films, and one thing that I took away, especially at the end of Ultimatum, is they really provided adequate closure to the saga of Jason Bourne, who he is, where he came from, and so forth. And I thought it was a good end point for the series. That's not to say I wouldn't be interested in seeing the further adventures of Jason Bourne, but I guess I approached a fourth film with a little bit of reservations, because like, where could they really take this character? And I guess really one of the big disappointing things with Jason Bourne, the film, is that there's not really much in the way of a compelling narrative that really expands upon this character's core mythology and invites our intrigue. And basically, without going into too much of the way of spoilers, Jason Bourne, essentially, he comes out of hiding and he makes yet again more discoveries about Treadstone. I mean, I'm kind of like, man, they're drumming up Treadstone yet again. There is a repetitive sameness to this film compared to the previous ones. Jason Bourne is in hiding. He gets lured out of hiding. The government is after him. We get dozens of people, typing away on computers, trying to locate him with high-tech surveillance equipment. He evades capture. People are not who they seem to be, and so forth. So let's just say that there is some new intel about his father and some new intel about Treadstone that basically lures Jason Bourne out of a Rambo-like state of hiding. It kind of reminded me of Rambo 3 in a way, where Richard Crenna's character went to seek out Rambo to bring him back into the fold, and of course he was basically this pit fighter, and that's what Jason Bourne is in this movie at the beginning. He's a pit fighter. He does this for cash, I guess. I don't know. For some reason, they omitted that ridiculously awesome money shot, one punch knockdown from the trailers, and that's not in the film. That moment is in the film, but that incredible shot is not in the film. So that's a stylistic choice. I'm kind of wondering what the hell they did with that. On a positive, I do like some of the additional cast, the new cast members of Jason Bourne, in particular Alicia Vikander.
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
Why would he come back now?
I mean, she is an actress that I think can do no wrong. I absolutely adored her in Ex Machina. I think she's been really good in some small key supportive roles. I think she is gonna knock it out of the park as Lara Croft in the upcoming Tomb Raider reboot. So I like her no-nonsense sass that she really brings to this part, and I think she's a welcome addition. Also, man, when Tommy Lee Jones brings it,
You're never gonna find any peace. Not till you admit to yourself who you really are.
he has this very interesting and tricky role to pull off that I can't really go into more detail without engaging in spoilers, but man, he just sort of has this wonderfully and understated matter of lending, the utmost gravitas to his parts. He feels like a tangible threat in this film to Jason Bourne, just by the mere existence of him and the presence of Tommy Lee Jones that he brings as an actor. So I really like that. And Matt Damon.
Matt Damon!
I don't know exactly how old is he. I'm pretty sure he's pushing 50. I could be wrong, but there's something about guys like him and maybe like Tom Cruise who are just sort of they're like wines. They just sort of they get better with age, and I'm still amazed that he's able to bring his A game in films like this at a point in his career where he should be really maybe winding down from the action thriller genre. So Damon is in absolutely superb form. I think he rocks the shit out of this.
We gotta move.
Director Paul Greengrass, one of the most consummate and gifted film craftsmen working today. I still concede that United 93 is the single best film of the last decade, and I put it number one. And of course, he helmed the two very best Jason Bourne films, as I alluded to earlier. A lot of people complain that he uses shaky cam to overbearing effect. I will come to his defense by saying that he is one of the very few directors that really understands how to use that stylistic choice but still somehow maintain some semblance of editorial flow and choreography and geography of the scene, so you really know the particulars of where characters are in relation to one another in these action sequences. He delivers two absolutely virtuoso and pulse-pounding action sequences in this film. One involves a tour de force sequence set right in the middle of a massive city riot in Athens That's fantastic. I think he completely one-ups that with this sensational car chase sequence, which are really a staple of the Jason Bourne series as a whole, which involves Jason Bourne trying to stop a runaway, heavily armored SWAT car. And it's mind-bogglingly incredible. And I think ultimately, is there a story here that really needed to be told? And is there a story that I found compelling and that it really enriched upon the Jason Bourne cinematic mythology in any real, tangible, or meaningful way? I would argue no. I wouldn't go as far as to say that Jason Bourne feels like a pathetic cash grab film for the studio. And let's be honest, the movies, they are a business, and yes, they made Jason Bourne to make money, and this movie is going to make money. There's no question. But it doesn't make a strong and compelling case for its very existence on a narrative level. And I am a strong believer in reviewing films in a relativistic manner, if that is indeed a word. And what I mean by that is, as far as this film in relation to, say, the action spy thriller genre as a whole, it certainly is a step above a lot of the, you know, examples that are just on pure autopilot from other lesser film directors and stars. So on those levels, Jason Bourne is a pretty, you know, decent and commendable film. But if we're directly comparing this to the previous 3 Jason Bourne films, not including the Bourne Legacy, because it doesn't count, then I have to say this film is a bit of a letdown, and I don't think it really proudly continues the legacy of the Jason Bourne character in the ways that it thinks it is, or wants to for that matter. And I would say that it's probably the least of all of the Jason Bourne films. It's still better than the Bourne Legacy, don't get me wrong. That's just a forgettable blip on the radar of this franchise. But compared to like the series pinnacle heights of the Bourne Ultimatum, and considering that this is the reteaming of Greengrass and Damon, I guess I just left the theater disappointed and expecting more. Anyway, that's my take on Jason Bourne. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of it. Also, let me know what your favorite Jason Bourne film is. Let me know what your favorite Matt Damon film is. Also, let me know in the comments what your favorite films of Paul Greengrass are. Also, if you could like this video, I would sincerely appreciate it. Also, if you don't mind hitting that subscribe button, that would also mean the world to me. My channel could use a lot of subscribe love. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you at the movies, everybody.
Applesauce, bitch.